Yep, looks like one of them is finally ready. So we are going to get this match started. And of course, the winner in this best of three will go on to face Sacrilege in today's finals.
I actually saw Sacrilege. I'm not sure if that was in chat or in our Skype conversation we have for the event, saying they're really eager to for the possibility of facing BFS in the finals. They've never faced them before, or if they have, it's been a long time since they have. So they're very eager to face a new opponent, or at least the possibility of a new opponent in BFS.
Yeah, of course. And it'd be great if BFS can make it, but they have a fairly tall mountain climb against the Gents here, as we've seen how well the Gents can do. But let's get some ship introductions going.
The Wrecking Ball, piloted by High Commander Rethburn. He is an expert pilot. We've seen him plenty of times before. Hades Artemis combination on the front, Artemis and Gat on the side. The second ship, the Regal Skepet. It is a junker, piloted by Chief Navigator Andros. We have on the left side a Gat mortar combination. The front is a mine launcher, and the right side is another Gat mortar brawl combination. Magic, go ahead.
And on the Lacergonian Maid, we still have that double Hades on one side with double Artemis on the other and a third Artemis up front. And on the Got shot, or the Got shot, we've got a Mercury up top with that Gat mortar on the lower decks and Artemis on both wings. So no change from the Gents there. And why would they? It was extremely successful the last two matches. Or
Gents aren't
last match.
exactly known. The Gents and the Ducks both aren't exactly known for changing up their ship loadouts or ship styles in between matches. They have their ships, they practice with those specific ships and specific setups, with those specific loadouts even, and they really don't like to change that. While that has been very effective, I believe in the future that could become a problem as more teams come into the competitive scene.
Yeah, and I think the only thing I've really seen him change around in past matches is maybe replacing the Mercury up top with a Hades, depending on what map it is. But that is a fairly minor change there. Now, as far as this match goes, as we see BFS kind of hiding behind the wreckage here, I'm gonna say that this map definitely favors the Gents here. They have that long range setup. So in this case, I really do think that it's going to be how well BFS uses the cloud cover to make their approach against these two long range ships.
I agree 100%. In order for the BFS to get into close range, they have to close that distance first. Obviously, you have to approach the enemy ships in some way, shape, or form. If they don't use cloud cover and what wrecks they can find effectively, they're going to be out in the open and it's going to be a shooting gallery for the
Yep.
Gents.
And they're actually moving forward while the Gents are being obstructed by that cloud in front of them currently.
Regal Skepet's way behind. They might get spotted if they don't move.
It's
Oh
possible.
no,
It
they're
wouldn't be
not.
the
They're
end
not.
of the world. What they really actually have to watch out for is the dust cloud that's gonna blow on through right now. I'm gonna let you know right now. I hate the dust clouds so much, especially as an engineer. When my pilot flies me into dust cloud, I want to scream. I'm not a fan of trying to repair everything in those dust clouds.
Lusty Argonian Maid has been spotted, as has the Got Shot. We haven't seen any fire come down yet. Regal Skepet has been spotted as well. We should see some aggression here very shortly. Yep, the Regal Skepet is being fired upon by the Lusty Argonian Maid and Got Shot.
Yep, but it looks like they're actually out of that Artemis range, so only the Mercury is really going to be able to hit right now. Now, regardless of whether or not these shots come down, it was extremely important for the Gents to find the BFS team here, to know that this is the side that they're approaching on, because BFS could have easily been coming around the other side, way on the other side of the map, around the Leviathan or Juggernaut, or whatever you want to call that big wreckage there.
Now, you being a much greater expert at this game than I am, would it be a good idea for BFS to use this shipwreck here, the battle shipwreck, as cover to quickly approach the Gents team, or is it simply too small and too slim to try and use?
The Junker can probably make the most use of it. Really, what you have to be careful though is how close you're to it. As you see, there's this little bits and pieces sticking off of it, and sometimes you don't really realize what's going to stop your momentum or puncture you in any sort of fashion. But it looks like they are going to be able to get at least the nose of this ship, and it being raised up higher will provide a little bit more cover. But they're not going to be able to stand back here for very long. They're not going to be able to get very good arcs being that low. Especially
Wrecking
if
Ball.
you're... Oh, well, I guess they don't have many Artemis. It's just the one on the Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking Ball and Regal Skepet are moving out in front of the wreck at this point. They are obscured by clouds, though. The Godshot does have arc on them. I did not see the Godshot swing around that far. Wrecking Ball is in direct line of fire from both the Lusty Argonian Maid and the Godshot.
Yeah, Wrecking Ball is going to be under major fire here. And the problem is that the Regal Skepet not having anything more to fire with than really that mine launcher currently. They have to close that distance, and in the meantime, Wrecking Ball is, well, just getting Wrecking Balled.
I see what you did. The Wrecking Ball has lost their outer hull. They just got it back up. They've lost 2 of their engine, including their main engine. Regal Skepet is doing everything they can to close the distance on the Godshot, but they're starting to take fire from the Lusty Argonian Maid as well.
Yep, and I mean, this was going to be the problem here. A few mines coming up. Is the Godshot actually going to hit that mine? Yes, they do. Oh my. That's actually incredibly good for the Regal Skepet there. It's going to move on back here, but I think they may have sustained too much damage coming in.
No, the Regal Skepet just lost a massive... There they go. A couple very bad shots, very good shots rather, from the Gents team on both the Lusty Argonian Maid and Godshot, and we lose the Junker for the first point for the Gents team.
Yeah, and this was going to be the problem that that BFS faces here. They have to get that Junker really close in, and the Gents are definitely going to know that they have to shoot that Junker down before he can get all the way in there. And they've chosen actually all to spawn all the way across on the other side of the map, so I think they're just giving up the second kill now as well.
It's not a terrible idea, as hard as it is to think about letting your teammate just die. Sometimes it has to happen to let their hull armor reset. The permahull has no way of being regenerated or rebuilt. So, if you're stuck with low permahull, it's better to at times just let your teammate die, let them reset, give them the opportunity to have full permahull and start over again.
Of course, as we say that, a Wrecking Ball is definitely using that that wreckage now. Now, I wonder, could this be a bit of a bait here to try to get the Lusty Argonian Maid to come down here while the Regal Skepet comes in close?
The Regal Skepet's way too far away for that. Way too far away for that.
I mean, I would agree, but considering the Wrecking Ball is definitely backpedaling with all of its might, and they didn't give themselves up, I'm not sure why the Regal Skepet then chose to spawn all the way back. I'm not quite sure what the thought process behind that was. Regal Skepet flying through a cloud there lost a lot of its I think lost 3 of its guns as well, so that didn't help, but did definitely have enough time to repair them on the approach here.
Regal Skepet swinging in right next to the Wrecking Ball now. They have met back up. Wrecking Ball is in a very poor position right now. They've lost... their entire outer hull is now gone. They are losing permahull points. They're down to just a sliver of health left. There they go. Regal Skepet's on its own.
Yeah, and once again, I'm mildly confused at what the thought process behind there here was. Regal Skepet stopped when he saw his teammate as well, didn't continue to go forward, maybe try to get in to burst down the Mobula or something of that sort, and now it's just getting caught out here, and it's, well, that's basically a meat grind situation right there. You had 3 consecutive ships go down really, really quickly.
You have to wonder if Byron actually planned this out to chase the Wrecking Ball away while keeping it as disabled as possible, making it think it had a chance to get away, then killing it off as soon as the Junker met back up with it.
I wouldn't question Byron's intelligence in this case, but I almost feel like that just kind of was a happenstance there. I really feel like that was more of a misstep there by BFS, but if it was in fact Byron's plan, yeah, it's quite clever.
Perfectly executed. 3-0
Absolutely.
in favor of the Gents in this game. This is going to be a best of three. This is the first map in the best of three. Next map is going to be Canyon Ambush. And then, if there is a third game, Battle on the Dune. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a wrong matchup. I was reading the wrong matchup there. The next map is going to be Canyon Ambush. And then the third one, if there's a third one, is going to be Parrot and Rumble.
Yeah, so if BFS can survive the second game, and I don't want to give up on them already, but it will be it's going it I knew it was going to be difficult for them to win this, and being down 3-0 is going to make it even harder. But assuming that they do lose this, and if they can take Canyon Ambush back, uh, their playstyle here, the way that their ships are set up, are is going to be, I believe, favoring them just a little bit on a map like Parent and Rumble.
Lusty, Argonian Maid, and Gotshot are charging.
They're charging, but not in a position where BFS is. BFS is actually taking the long way around that gigantic wreckage this time. However, Regal Skepet has gotten spotted, so they do know.
Both teams know where each other is. The Gotshot did get spotted as well.
And this is an area where we see a lot of fights end up coming in. One team being on one side of this wreckage, the other team being on the other. This is probably the most cover you're ever gonna get on this map, and maybe they'll try to draw the Gent team in here, perhaps bait a little bit. It's possible to. Actually, it's not possible to get shots off onto the through the right side here.
It
It's
looks like Gotshot's being baited in.
Yeah, and hopefully he doesn't fall for this unless Lusty Argonian Maid is actually going around the other side, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're going on each side here. I don't know if this is going to work out for them. Um, it depends on how, of course, BFS is going
Dust
to
cloud just
respond.
enveloped the entirety of the BFS team.
But this is actually forcing them towards the Lusty Argonian Maid, and the Got Shot is just no. Okay, the Got Shot turned around. Oh no, never mind. It is coming around. It is coming around. I was just looking at the map the wrong way. So
Regal Skepet and Wrecking Ball are trying to correct their trajectories right now. Regal Skepet is engaging the Lusty Argonian Maid. Mines going down all around it. Good mine shot on Lusty Argonian Maid's balloon there. But Regal Skepet losing a lot of health to the Got Shot right now. Too much hull damage going down the Regal Skepet. They go down.
yeah, and it was just once again really good focus firing, catching your opponent there by the Gent team. Wrecking Ball trying to come on in here and bust the Lusty Argonian Maid, or maybe they're just. I don't know if they were trying to ram there or just try to get away. Either way, it's not going to work out very well for them.
Wrecking Ball exposed his engine column to the Gents team, and appropriately so. Has had three of its engines disabled now. Wrecking Ball is going nowhere fast. They've lost their outer hull. Perma hull's going down. This one is most likely going to go to the Gents, folks. There it goes.
There you go. So that's a very clever little pincer maneuver there around that wreckage, conducted by the Gent team. They managed to catch, I believe it was Regal Skepet. Yeah, Regal Skepet alone. I believe Wrecking Ball was actually kind of turned the wrong way for a little while there, and that pretty much finished him off. Now, I will say that most captains, especially high-level ones, really like this squid, really enjoy the squid. They just do not find it to be as good in competitive play, which is why you don't see it very often. So it's not that they'd be inexperienced with these squids, uh, but generally it's just not considered to be all that great for competitive
We
play.
are
So to have
starting
them
the
actually
match.
pull this out, yep, here we go, guys.
You just know.
So triple squids. How's
You
that?
just know the engineers on those ships. They had easy jobs before. Now they're crying.
Yeah, I'm Well, take note, Sacrilege. If you face either of these teams, they might just pull out a squid on you, or double squid on you, as it is. Oh man, especially in the Mapla Canyon ambush. You can just run circles around each other. Okay, well, let's give a quick rundown.
Dalek Operator is the first ship in the lineup, piloted by High Commander Rethburn. We have on the front a GAT. On the side, we have a double barrel mortar, and the back is a mine launcher. Our second ship, the only non-squid in this matchup, the Regal Skepet, piloted by Chief Navigator Andros. We have on the left side a GAT mortar, the front is a mine launcher, and the right is a Banshee mortar, Banshee mine launcher as well.
Yeah, so double mine launchers there. Interesting. All right, on the Gents team, we've got Zuka's Taint. That's gross. We've got a carronade up front, a flamethrower on the side, and a mine launcher in the back. That's Byron Cavendish's ship. And on the Galful Eel, Commander Feast on Thrones piloting, bumping into a little bit of rock there. He's also got a carronade, flamethrower, mine launcher. So same squids on that side, and we're getting into this action already. Azuka's Taint has gotten caught by these two red ships.
Zuka's Taint does a very, very poorly timed ram against the Regal Skepet. It's taking a lot of damage. That ram was very poorly timed. As soon as its hull cracked, it hit the Regal Skepet's balloon. Regal Skepet took very little damage in that
and the Galful Eel runs into a mine.
I believe that was Byron Cavendish's mines even.
Yeah, it may have been the teammate mine there.
The Daleks Operator has taken a lot of fire as well. A lot of components on fire, or was on fire rather, on that ship. Daleks Operator has lost their balloon. Zuka's Taint taking a lot of damage though. There it goes. Just too much fire from the Regal Skepet. I do believe a mine hit was involved in that as well.
Yeah, a mine hit definitely took down a lot of that. Once again, I'm not entirely sure whose mine that was because there's about 1 trillion of them in this map. And oh, there's another mine hit. That one was definitely from the Regal Skepet.
The Galful Eel doing its best to get out of the situation at this point, laying mines behind it while the Regal Skepet comes in to try and cut it off. Dalek Operator has just gotten its systems back together. Its balloon is back together, and they are chasing as well.
Oh, and the Galful Eel turning right around, even though Zuka's Taint is quite far away still. Looks like it's going to try to maneuver past here, but Dalek Operator right on his tail with that GAT.
We did have a hull crack on the Galful Eel just now. Great fire from the Dalek Operator. But
yeah,
mines in the way. Those mines scare off the Dalek Operator from chasing any further.
Yeah, thankfully no mining your own ships on BFS side. You know, with squids, that hull is gonna continue to bounce up and down constantly as Zuka's Taint approaches.
Zuka's is flying
nice mine
in
hit.
Very quickly. Tried to get a ram on the Daleks Operator, but Zuka's misses by about 10 feet or so, and the Regal Skepet both bring their firepower around on top of Zuka's.
Yep, Galful Eel, however, coming right back into this fight. And so far, the real big problem here is that the Gents team hasn't been able to get into a good team fight so far.
Dalek Operator gives Zuka attempted a successful ram with his balloon's nose cone. Zuka's is now in a 2v1 scenario, taking a lot of damage very quickly from the GAT mortar combinations. Zuka's is not long for this world as it's focused down very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the Gents are really playing BFS's game, and well, I mean, as I said, it's BFS's game. This is what they know how to do, so they are definitely take advantage of this situation.
Dalek's Operator swing around the Galful Eel, trying to bring its GAT mortar to bear. Good mine hit on the Galful Eel there, but Dalek's Operator not liking that flamethrower too much.
Yeah, flamethrowers can be quite effective.
GAT fire pretty inaccurate right now from the Daleks Operator. I don't believe they have great line of sight on where the Galful Eel is right now. Oh no, they do. They need to get that accurate firepower on the Galful Eel. Oh, nasty mine shot coming in from the Regal Skepet. Great mine landing on part of the Regal Skepet against the Guileful Eel.
It's actually interesting to me that Dalek Operator is using charged rounds in that Gatling in front. Haven't seen that used a whole lot. Although I guess versus squids it might be worth it.
I am immensely curious why the Gents decided to play BFS at their own game. Guileful Eel taking a lot of damage. Dalek Operator charging up right behind it. Gonna ram it right into the rocks there.
Oh,
nasty
wow.
bounce.
Crazy bounce and almost dies from the second kind of reverberation or ricochet ram there.
Guileful Eel is going to be in a lot of trouble here, but the Zuka is coming up behind the Regal Skepet, dropping a lot of carronade fire on top of the Regal Skepet's balloon. They're going to lose their balloon unless something is done very quickly now. The other Gents ship has been taken out, so Dalek Operator Regal Skepet can now just focus on Zuka.
Ooh, nice little ram there onto the Regal Skepet, but those mortars going to come raining onto Zuka's taint. And I still feel dirty saying that.
That's why I'm just saying Zuka. Dalek Operator floating right into that tar cloud. Very poor choice. He's going to be in there for quite a bit, doing a lot of damage to that ship right now.
Yep, continual tar there as well.
Zuka is taking a lot of damage from that Gat Mortar combination on the Dalek
hit
Operator.
The mine up top? Yes, it is. Oh, and it's going to knock Zuka right back down. Just trying to escape, but right back down.
Tar Barrel right now being very ineffective against the Dalek Operator. Engineers on that ship are doing all they can to keep things moving. And
he's going to run into the miner front?
Oh my goodness.
Yes, he is. Oh,
that
man,
was close. Zuka's just, oh my goodness, a bounce against the Dalek Operator actually bounced the Dalek Operator against Zuka and destroyed Zuka before it could even move out of the way. So Guileful Eel actually just killed their own teammate.
Yeah, by proxy killed their own teammate. Guileful Eel knocked the Dalek into Zuka's ship. And, well, that pretty much ended that run of that squid. And we are on a 4-0 match point here for BFS.
Regal Skepet and...
Oh, and Regal Skepet actually runs into his own mine.
The BFS team is probably going to take a few moments and get themselves reoriented. I'm not sure chasing Guileful Eel would be the greatest idea in the world right now. They do have that mine launcher right on back. Regal Skepet appears to be kind of very close to some of these mines. Be careful, Regal.
Just managed to hold up.
Dalek Operator Regal Skepet have both held in this little canyon area at this point.
Zuka's taint coming, charging on in here, full speed ahead. Choo-choo. Here comes the pain train.
Takes out the Regal Skepet's balloon almost instantly. Regal Skepet did not have an opportunity to react. Less than stellar mine shots coming out of both the Dalek Operator and the Regal and the Zuka.
Yep, Zuka's... Ooh, Guileful Eel, another huge ram on Dalek, but actually takes out a huge chunk of its own permahull. At this point, I think they're just really trying to make it not a shutout. Probably realizing that this is a lost cause, but they definitely want to get at least one kill here.
Oh, great mine shot. Oh, not so great mine shots. My camera was off perspective. I'm sorry about that, folks.
And Dalek Operator, in the meantime, getting all sorts of lit on
Zuka's
fire.
chain takes a couple nasty mine shots on top of their balloon
Guileful
from the
Eel
Regal Skepet.
Down, so is Dalek Operator. Is just action going all over the place here right now.
It is tough to keep up with some of these more action-paced matches. I'm so glad to see this, though. We haven't seen something like this in tournament play for a little bit. Dalek Operator getting focused down by Zuka and the Guileful Eel right now. Both ships doing what they can.
If Guileful Eel rams, he might actually murder himself. Got to be really careful here.
It was a balloon ram. He is fine so far. He is using his hull, though, at this point to grind down the Dalek Operator. Guileful Eel swinging around the Dalek Operator, doing everything in his power. Mine shot right above the Dalek Operator from the Regal Skepet. The Dalek Operator cannot rise right now.
Oh, and Zuka's team is going to run into that mine that just got placed there. Now the Guileful Eel is actually took, I think, a little bit of like splash damage from that mine as well, because a large part of its hull went down.
Lesmach ammo needs to be taken out of the mine launcher on the Regal Skepet at this point. They're flying over top of the other two squids. Regal Skepet actually just needs to get out of here at this point. Let
It's
the
trying to
Dalek
move
operator come
around,
back in.
losing a large part of its balloon, but thankfully it hasn't bumped into the ground. Didn't bump into the ground right away. Managed to fly over that little ridge. Let them keep on flying forth. As care needs going to work now on the Regal Skepet. And
Oh,
ooh,
nasty
nice
ram by
ram.
Zuka.
Yep, that actually lost all of his balloon or hull there. Operator and Gaffel Eel banging into each other.
I
Oh
really didn't
man,
like
Dalek
that
almost
move
killed it
by
off.
the. I did not like that move by the Dalek operator. It used its hull to
Oh,
ram
but
the
the
Guileful Eel's balloon.
Gaffel Eel goes down.
Whoa!
To the Gat Fire, Guileful Eel goes down. It had very little health left, and in turning around trying to face the Dalek was still for just a little bit too long, and BFS pulls this out 5-2 in one of the more entertaining games I've seen in a while. Rathburn sticking with that squid, sticking what they likes, sticking with what went in last game.
I can respect that, especially on a map like Paradin Rumble, as we just talked about. This is the first time we've seen this map today. Imagine, tell us about Paradin Rumble.
Well, Parent Rumble is, lots and lots of clouds. Has that wind effect going on where wind will knock you around and you can't really keep your ship still. Always got to be positioning it because wind will move you. Lots and lots of terrains, lots of little pokey things that can stop your ship dead in its tracks.
Let's go over the ship loadouts for this game. Dalek Operator is the first one. Squid, piloted by High Commander Rathburn. It has on it a gat on the front. The side support is a double barrel mortar, and the backside has a mine launcher. The second ship, the Regal Skepet, piloted by Chief Navigator Andros. We have on it on the left side a gat mortar combination. The front is a mine launcher, and the right side is another. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's not a gat mortar anymore. I keep thinking that. It is a Banshee mine layer combination.
And on the Luster going in made as the Dalek operator is getting a little bit caught here. We've got double Hades one side, double Artemis on the other, another Artemis up front. And on the Got Shot, we've got once again Artemis on the wings with that Gat mortar on the lower deck and a Mercury up top. So back to what BFS or back to what the Gents have been using the entire time.
The
And Dalek operator.
The Dalek operator actually got caught against a building, got stopped, lost one of its turning engines. The captain on it got very confused about which direction he needed to turn, and unfortunately got picked apart by the lusty Argonian maid and the Godshot.
Yeah, I mean, part of the problem here was that they were more or less going straight through the middle. Now, you do see the globe in the middle. At one point, that was not the case. That was this was the labyrinth loadout, and there used to be just a giant building in the middle of the map instead. That was changed, so now you have that globe now here as well. So that middle of the map is a whole lot more open. Dalek operator tried to skirt through there, got caught out in the open more or less by the Lustier going and made, and it got shot. And well, once you knock out the engines of a squid, that's almost what the squid's main defense is their engines.
Godshot and lusty Argonian maid have taken up a very solid defensive firing position here at the very center of the map, just above where that globe is. From this vantage point, they can see pretty much anything that's going to come at them, save if one of those clouds wants to spawn in and give a little bit of cover to the BFS team.
Yep, you do have quite a lot of roving clouds around this, but they are fairly high up enough. And this is actually why I kind of wish that building in the middle would still be here. It made for a lot more interesting approaches for different teams, but we deal with this now as much as we can. So let's see how BFS does so.
BFS is sitting their ships deep down in this little crevice here against the train tracks.
Oh, Regal Scuppet actually might be stuck. I think they're actually Velcroed to
Uh-oh.
the side right here.
That's not good.
And they're not taking too much damage so far. There you go.
There they
Just
go.
found a minute.
They got
Okay.
dislodged.
Yeah, thankfully no real damage happened there, but yeah. I think something that the BFS might try here is to stay very, very low. That's another approach that they can try to take. Go low through the clouds, come under everything. I believe there's a few spots that you can get through into the middle here if you're staying low. I really think you got to go almost all the way up on the side and like the B column get up above on the map of where Gents are currently camped out. If they try to come up more or less of a diagonally right now and go into the middle, they will most likely just get shot down.
How hard is it for a team like the Gents who are way up above to try and spot these ships deep in these canyons, building canyons?
Oh, it's almost impossible. Now, the only thing is that if you do get a spot on one, that spot will stay on quite a long time because you have to go so slowly through these little crevices, unless, of course, you're in a cloud. But it will be rather hard unless Dalek gets a little bit too
Uh-oh.
forward here out of this
Spot has
cloud.
gone down on Dalek. Spot
Yeah,
down on the Lust Argonian Maid. Each team knows where each other is.
yeah, I
Firing arcs
almost,
definitely favor the Gents right now.
yeah, they've got to go up more the way that they were going. They can't come around the side that they were trying to come around right now. It's this corridor that they were trying to go through here, much too wide, and part of the problem was that they also got ahead of the cloud that was going through here. And really, if you look at it, even if you manage to make it through this corridor here, you're staring at this giant train bridge. So unless you go up kind of up to the left side, in order to really get shots off with the guns that they have, they would have to rise up, and that would put them directly into the line of fire on the Gents.
What's the best strategy for BFS right now where they have a range disadvantage? They need to get in close to do what they need to do to kill the other team's ships. How can they possibly get in close enough to do that without getting ripped to shreds?
They're kind of going the way that I envisioned them having to go. It also will depend if whether or not the Gents will stay more or less in the position that they are currently. But if they manage to get to sort of the top side of the world, so in that C column around C4, so C4, D4, around there, there's going to be a few better avenues to catch them from behind. Um, part of the, as I said, part of the problem here is going to be that it's going to be hard to come in low. Now, if you're looking at if you're looking at the middle of the map where the world is, and you see the way that the mobula is facing right now, there is a pathway you can come through if you're staying low there, but it's also going to depend on how well BFS knows the cloud movement on this map. The cloud movements are set in patterns, so you know where clouds are going to be moving and roughly how long they're going to be in. So it depends on how long or how much BFS has actually practiced on this map and how well they know those cloud movements. You can really take advantage of those cloud movements if you watch them carefully enough.
The trade winds always fly in a specific direction, always go in a specific direction, and they always go at a specific speed per map.
Yep, absolutely. And you'll have Canyon Ambush is a very good indicator on how well people know the clouds because they go straight through the spawn. So if you if you know the pattern that those clouds go, you can actually get some really good ambushes off on people who are just sitting back and camping their own spawn. But it really looks like BFS just wants to use this corridor that they've consistently tried to go down on, and uh, I I'm not once again I'm not too sure that this is the right one to do it in. The only clouds that come through here fly very low, as you can tell right now as they're coming through.
It's a very large, wide corridor for shots to fall through rather. And once you're through it, all you have is this low railroad bridge, as you mentioned earlier,
Hmm.
to defend yourself with. At that point, it's open territory. Now, maybe the BFS team could close the gap at that point. At that point, they may be able to get in brawl range and start doing what they need to do. But that's a big if still.
Yep, and Artemis, pretty good pointing downwards, not so good pointing upwards. I mean, that's why Gents are staying way up high there, and that's why approaching from this exact position is going to be pretty hard because you cannot continue to stay low to follow those clouds all the way in because of that bridge. You maybe can kind of squeeze through on the right side, but if you're off by a hair, you're going to bounce against the bridge or bounce against the building over there, and that's pretty much going to spell the end there. All right, we do have a set of higher clouds going in now, so now, right now, would be a good time to go forth, but it looks like BFS is just going to go up a little bit further. Yep. Oh.
Checking to see exactly where the BFS could enter into this brawl at. There is an avenue here, a smaller avenue right to the south, or the east rather, of where they're approaching. They could easily take advantage of that. I don't believe the Gents team has sight at all of what's going on in this canyon here.
Yeah, they're kind of just floating around. I mean, at this point, when you're an engineer, you're running from, one side of the ship to the other, trying to look behind you, trying to look in front of you. You don't have a whole lot else to do. Now, this is actually the approach that wow, they're going way off the edge of the map there as it got shot. Actually lowered himself really, really far there. Not entirely sure why that was,
The
but
Regal Skeptic is really high right now. If Cloudbreak happens, a lusty Argonian maid might have had sight on him. That was actually a rather risky maneuver, in my opinion.
possibly, and with both of those jet ships turning towards it, I quite suspect that you're correct.
Maybe an official spot didn't happen, but a quick glint in the eye might have occurred.
Absolutely, and okay, so there we go. They get a little bit lucky here, as that cloud is actually covering them. What's up, Bruce? I thought or said
I
something there.
believe that was a misclick.
Gotcha.
Regal
All right.
Skepet is coming over the bridge as well now, completely covered by those clouds that was obscuring the gap here just over the railroad bridge.
They actually, if they really wanted to, they could have actually gone up high there and flown above that bridge and been able to fly right through that cloud that's floating across right now, come up fairly close right to the got shot in the Argonian maid, but a little bit of a missed opportunity that time.
Waiting to see exactly how BFS wants to play this out once they get engaged in combat.
Yep, and let's see. Yeah, so there's a lot of just kind of skirting about going on right now as BFS tries to figure it all out, and they are moving into a little bit of a dangerous position here.
They
But
could be sighted here.
I think that cloud may just have come in time to cover them.
I
I
believe
mean,
Dalek
Gents
Operator
are.
and Regal Skepet need to push forward right now. They have enough cloud cover where they could cover the distance to get in melee range.
Yeah, and if they don't do it right now, there's going to be a small window of opportunity here for the Gents to spot these two teams. But Dalek Operator probably sticking its nose out just a little bit too early. And, I mean, the Gents should be able to see them right now.
Gotshot has been sighted. Dalek Operator has been
Yeah, there you
spotted
go.
as well.
And the problem is that now Regal Skepet and Dalek Operator are kind of committed to being right here.
This is a very poor place to be right now. They're kind of trapped in this small little canyon under this broken building.
Yep, shots come raining down on in there, but with no hits, probably going to stop soon. Yeah, I mean, if they would have waited here until right about now, when this giant set of clouds is rolling through, oh, that would have been absolutely fantastic for the BFS team. They would have been able to get right up on the god shot. I mean, they could still do it if they would have not backed off like they are.
The BFS team right now playing extremely passively, and I can't say I'm a huge fan of it. They need to get into the Gents' faces. They need to figure out a way to get into the Gents' faces and get right up in there before the Artemis, the long-range Artemis, and the Hades fire rips them apart.
Yep, and I mean it's been one of those things where a lot of missed opportunity type things, but it's very much different when you're looking at it from this kind of bird's eye view that we have, and able to see where the clouds are moving to. compared to, you know, how these captains are looking at this map currently. I mean,
Uh-oh, we lost Urs from the game. Apologies for the disruption, folks. Urs, are you going to be able to get back into the match? We will keep folks posted as to what's going on in the game until that happens.
do you want them to keep on playing?
Regal Skepet and the Dalek Operator are holding just north along the tracks of where they were scooting around. The Gotshot and the Lusty Argonian Maid still holding high in the air over the railroad tracks and the world. They have direct line of sight of where they think the BFS team is, although they aren't exactly sure yet. The BFS team still using these buildings and low alleys as cover.
And the BFS team got a little bit split apart there. It looks like they may have wanted to go in different directions, but Dalek Operator now going to catch up with
has
Regal
poked
Skepet.
its nose. The Junker has poked its nose just out of these buildings and avenues, has come into the main alley,
And
the main area
gets
here.
spotted and moves right back out.
The Gents know where they are now.
Yeah,
a lot
absolutely.
of disables happening on the Regal Skepet.
A few mine shots coming down, but those aren't really going to do a whole lot. You know, they're not going to get, the Gents are not going to give chase here.
Dalek Operator swinging around the far side right now. I'm not sure I like this choice. He is speeding away while Regal Skepet is made to hold here just to the south, just to the north rather, of where the Gents team is looking.
Yeah, and I mean, this is actually a tactic they could maybe try out. Yeah, use the Regal Skepet on one end. Keep on poking his nose out, keeping the attention of the Gents team. And in the meantime, have the little fast maneuverable Dalek Operator come up from behind. We'll see how well it works out on an experienced team like the Gents. They might just... Oh, it looks like they actually caught a little bit of wind of the Dalek here. This could actually work out if they charge from two different sides at the same time. As Dalek Operator and Regal Skepet are more or less set up on
Dalek Operator is
opposites.
charging into the fight from the southeast.
And
The
Regal
Lusty
Skepet coming in as well.
Lusty Argonian Maid is wheeling backwards, trying to keep a solid range on it, trying to keep Dalek Operator from getting in melee. Dalek Operator losing a lot of health very quickly. Hull armor going down.
Oh, looks like...
Nasty mine shot on the God shot, but damaged the Dalek Operator's engines pretty severely. The Dalek Operator is wheeling around, losing altitude at this point. Their permahull has been exposed, and they are below half.
Yep, Regal Skepet, on the other hand, has come up on the Lusty Argonian Maid, is doing a fantastic job of distracting it, not letting it keep on getting those Hades shots off onto the Dalek Operator. But now that the focus has been... Oh, nice mine shot on the God shot, knocks it back down, losing its balloon, and that allows the Regal Skepet to continue its assault on the Argonian Maid.
The Regal Skepet is still outside the arming time of the Hades, but it's doing its best to try and close that gap. Brawl side for the Regal Skepet, doing everything in its power to try and take out the Lusty Argonian Maid, but the Lusty Argonian Maid and its expert crew doing too much, dealing out damage too quickly and disabling too many components for the Regal Skepet to return fire at the moment.
Yeah, but the Dalek Operator is actually still sticking onto the God shot. Just a bits and pieces of damage before the God shot goes down, but gets his armor rebuilt. So as long as the Regal Skepet doesn't go down here and keeps the Argonians' Maid attention, God shot's gonna continue on being in extreme amounts of trouble.
Dalek Operator getting a lot of very good focus fire on the God shot. It could go down. God shot does indeed go down. Regal Skepet and Dalek Operator have the Lusty Argonian Maid all alone.
Yeah, and it's going to be absolutely critical here for the Regal Skepet to not die. If they do, this will mostly be for a waste, and they're not doing a whole Oh, who tarred there? That was a really interesting tar.
Tar is actually coming from the Lusty Argonian Maid right now. Dalek Operator swinging around the left side. Regal Skepet has
Oh no,
lost
the gut shot's right
altitude.
there. The gut shot's right in the face of the Dalek Operator. Oh no, poor Dalek Operator.
Nasty Tar Cloud sits on top of the Dalek Operator. Godshot finishes them off with Gat Mortar fire. Regal Skepet, although the BFS team had a chance, Regal Skepet has taken too much damage. Is in a 2v1 scenario against an almost full health Lusty Argonian Maid and a fresh out of spawn Godshot. They're going to go down, more than likely.
Yeah, it'll take a few shots here. They might be able to do some nifty maneuvering, but with no balloon, it's going to be extremely hard to do so. Dalek Operator probably should hold up right now as the Regal Skepet meets his doom.
3-1
and
in
instead he's
favor
going to
of
come
the
just
Gents.
charging on in here.
I don't like this choice by the Dalek Operator. It doesn't have the firepower to take on both the Lusty Argonian Maid and Godshot at the same time.
Yeah, this isn't Labyrinth, Dalek. You should probably get right on out of there. But those Artemis just taking out engines. A couple of them down, not a very good thing. It looks like maybe just able to get it. Oh, no. Oh, he's getting caught by the Argonian Maid now. And on top of some buildings as well.
Dalek Operator in a very poor position right now. They are caught and are in direct line of fire from both the Godshot and Lusty Argonian Maid. Fire dropping on top
buildings.
of them.
Bouncing along these buildings. It's just way more damage than they ever wanted to take here.
Dalek Operator continuing to bounce. As Imagine just mentioned, they've lost 2 of their engines as well. 2 of their guns are down. They could be in the clear though somehow. Clouds
yeah, they are.
have
In the
moved
meantime,
in.
the Regal Skepet is coming right on in as well.
Regal Skepet is actually targeting the Lusty Argonian Maid with its Gat Mortar. Also, mines having been laid around in these clouds, trying to find where they are. Okay, they are visible now.
Yep. Let's see if the Argonian Maid is gonna bounce into any of these mines. Not quite yet. Got shot. And the Regal Skepet is between. Oof, that was brutal.
Very poor positioning for the Regal Skepet. It swung in between the Lusty Argonian Maid and Godshot and put itself in a crossfire scenario. Dalek Operator coming in, but it's backing up against a building. It bashes itself against that construction site. It's taking a lot of fire. Hades shots swinging way, way above it. Dalek Operator clambering behind a building, just barely able to get in cover.
Yep, I mean, that was almost a total meat grind situation there. Dalek Operator came charging in, had to run away. Regal Skepet came charging in, died. Wasn't able to use the same amount of mobility. And well, now we're going to be set up in the same way with Gents circling around the middle here and BFS trying to figure out how to get in. And having to be extremely careful about it with 1 kill left to go. And careful, Dalek, you're gonna get caught out here. Ugh.
Line of sight has been made on the Dalek Operator. Shots are going down on its engine column right now, taking hull, engine, and component damage.
Yep, they do manage to skirt around the side there. That's actually like the 3rd time they've gotten caught in that same corridor there. I don't know why they keep on using it. All right, so we're back to another little bit of standstill here after quite a lot of action.
I do believe that if a time limit is reached, BFS will automatically lose because of the point difference. And
correct.
The fact that Gents are above three points in this game.
Right.
Nope.
It would
go to overtime. Okay.
Okay. But at the end of overtime, if nobody's hull has gone down, then the Gents would win. 4-1. Okay.
Dalek Operator and Regal Skepet sitting behind these buildings right now, hoping that they can come up with a plan to take out the Gents team multiple times. They would need 2 full team kills on the Gents at this point to get a victory, whereas the Gents need just 1 singular kill.
Yep, and they've shown themselves to be quite adept at getting that 1 kill. And with the Dalek Operator, Squid, already solo health and at half hull, health permanent damage. It's gonna be a mighty tall mountain climb. You never want to call one of these games because I've seen way too many, 4-0, 4-1 comebacks for the team down. But it's gonna be a quite a challenge to do it against the Gents right now.
It is. I do believe the Gents have their flying style locked down. Dalek Operator and Regal Skeppet are charging in right now. Dalek Operator absorbing a lot of fire. Outer hull has gone down. Engines have gone down.
And they are just gone. BFS is at this point is just going for broke, coming rushing on in here. And I mean, this hasn't worked really so far. Probably not going to work again. But so far, a lot of those shots missing. The Regal Skeppet just starting to connect. And with that
The
gap
Regal
mortar
Skeppet is
combo,
going down though. Oh my
that
goodness.
gap mortar combo.
The no shots actually landed in that last charge against the Gents. No shots actually landed. It was a very unfortunate charge. I think BFS just felt, okay, we've kind of lost this one on minor mistakes, bad positioning on our part. They had to just take it into that point.